we've almost stopped. It's about 85% stopped by sea. You probably noticed that. People aren't wanting to be delivering by sea. And we'll be starting to stop them by land also. The land is easier, but that's going to start very soon. We warn them, stop sending poison to our country.
Thousands of U.S. troops and more than a dozen warships are in the Caribbean in the waters off Venezuela. You're seeing the strikes, some of those strikes that have happened in the waters off of Venezuela. They've been carrying out those deadly strikes for weeks now. Joining me now, CNN senior military analyst and former NATO Supreme Allied Commander Admiral James Stavridis. Thank you so much for being here this morning. All right, President Trump is saying that he will soon stop the Venezuelan drug trafficking by land. Do you read that to mean he's talking about troops on the ground? I mean, what else could it mean?
I think it sounds like boots on the ground. I was just reading an email I got from a Vietnam War veteran who said the four most frightening words he can imagine a president saying are, "The land is easier," meaning once you start putting boots on the ground, it gets a lot harder than dropping bombs from the air or launching missiles from the sea. And I know that, having launched a lot of missiles from the sea, the danger is when you put troops ashore. So what's the president talking about? I don't know. I hope it would be very limited kind of incursions, perhaps against drug labs, maybe going after some leadership targets. I could sketch those out in greater depth, Sarah. But frankly, we need to be very cautious about anything that involves putting U.S. boots on the ground in Venezuela. I hope that Congress gets involved with this. Final thought, sometimes people look back to the 1980s and 90s when we invaded Panama and kind of took that country and took the leader, Noriega, a very successful operation called Just Cause. Here's the problem. Panama is a tiny country. Venezuela, it's twice the size of California. It would be a big military operation.
Okay, so we are seeing that the United States and Venezuela are going to be engaging in war very soon. Donald Trump has already shown that they are attacking Venezuela by sea and that very soon a ground invasion will begin. He said this will happen very soon. So in the coming days, in the coming weeks. So I want to line everything up with the United States and Venezuela leading up to Hanukkah and what looks to be a second 9/11 connected to this war between the United States and Venezuela. Very interesting detail that was brought to my attention, that just as the United States was founded, or its Independence Day was on July 4th, 1776, Venezuela declared independence on July 5th, 1811. July 5th. But even though there's a number of years different between the United States and Venezuela, here on Hanukkah, we're coming up to a 9/11 numerical connection on both of them. So the United States on Christmas this year, if you go from July 4th, 1776 to Christmas this year, it's 91,119 days. So Christmas this year, is set to be a big deal in the United States. Okay, and now we're watching Hanukkah, especially the last day of Hanukkah between the 20th, 21st, 22nd. The 19th is the arrival of Comet Atlas. And if we have the rapture of the church at this time, then Christmas would be, basically the winter solstice, it turns out to be like a 3-day window to Christmas. The winter solstice is connected to Christmas by by a 3-day window, and basically the rebirth of the sun on Christmas. And it's the arrival of the Antichrist, which the winter solstice and Christmas, and then all of the Antichrist's birthdays throughout history, from Nimrod to Zeus and to all of the others, are connected to Christmas. And so July 4th, 1776 to Christmas this year, 91,119 days. But if you go from the rebirth of Venezuela to December 19th, which happens to be the same day as the arrival of Comet Atlas, it's exactly 11,190 weeks. 11,190 weeks within the time of Venezuela to December 19th. Now, December 19th is also interesting because December is actually the true 10th month. You know, I mean, if we look at September as 7, October as 8, November as 9, December as 10, January used to be the 11th month, February was the 12th month, and then the first month was March. And they changed the calendar later, but in the beginning, December was 10. And so it would be, 119. So this Comet Atlas date, I mean, really could be lining up to be the second 9/11 date. I mean, if you consider all of this. So the USA is 9/11 on Hanukkah and Christmas. Venezuela is also 9/11 on Hanukkah and Christmas. And December 19th, the day that Comet Atlas arrives, is a double 9/11. December being 10, and this is 119 or 911. So just as Donald Trump said, in the coming days, very soon, somewhere in the near future, they're planning a land invasion of Venezuela. Could it be during the timing of Hanukkah? Maybe as a final warning before the rapture of the church. We'll have to wait and see. I just wanted to share all of these details with you guys. I pray you are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.